Greetings, Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another classic album review. And during the month of May, because there are 5 Mondays in May, I decided that we'd go take an album from from the decades, from the 50s up to the 90s. So we're going to take one now from the 60s, and this is from a band called The Band. Now, The Band were an American-Canadian rock band formed in Toronto in 1967, consisting of Canadians Rick Danko on the bass, guitar, vocals and fiddle, Gareth Hudson on organ, keyboards and accordion, saxophones, Richard Manuel on pianos and drums and vocals, Robbie Robertson, who was sort of the songwriter on vocals, and American Levin Helm on drums and mandolin. So if you've never heard of The Band, they combined elements of Americana, folk, rock, jazz, country, R&B. And they even had influenced musicians such as George Harrison, Elton John, The Grateful Dead, Eric Clapton and Wilco. They started though back in 1958, and until 1963 they were known as the Hawks. They gained recognition for backing Bob Dylan on the 1966 concert tour, notable Dylan's first electric band. When they left with Dylan, they became The Band and had very good success. So let's have a look at this album. Now, Music from the Pink was their debut album, and it was released in 1968. The music was composed partly in a pink house, so that's the name. I think it was a house shared by Rick Danko and Richard Manuel. So, and they wrote it there, and then they recorded it in New York and Los Angeles. And so playing on this one, we've got Rick Danko bass guitar, fiddle and vocals, Levon Helm on drums and tambourine, Garth Hudson organ, piano, clarinet, soprano and tenor saxophones, Richard Manuel on piano and organs and vocals, and Robbie Robertson on all the guitars and vocals. First track on this album is called Tira's Rage. I love this song. Written by Bob Dylan. It's a really good track. Great start. It's a great vocal. I love Robbie Robertson's vocals. He's a great singer. Great start. Then we get to Kingdom Come. I just love the keyboards in this. Oh dear, it's just so chilled out and soulful, and again, great vocals. In a Station, I love the start of this. It's just the beginning of that 1960s track with orchestra, and then it goes into this psychedelic thing. Great track, really chilled out track. Then we get Caledonia Mission. Now we go a bit more bluesy. Some lovely harmonies on this. They all could sing well. One of my favourite tracks on the album. Then we get The Wait. This is a really interesting track. Again, the vocals are great on this. It's a great track. I do love the sound that they got on this album. It's very chilled out, very 1960s. You can get all them elements of folk and soul and R&B are all sort of intertwined into a great track. Then we get my favourite track on here, and it's called We Can Talk. I love the combination of piano and organ. Then you get sounds like some gospel church music as well. Really great track. Then we get Long Black Veil. Another great start to that electric sound, and you get on the pianos, and it's really, really, really great. Chest Fever, again one of my favourite tracks on the album. The Hammond organ at the beginning is brilliant. It just reminds you of John Wall, Ken Hensley. That sort of sound is terrific. One of my favourite tracks on the album. Lonesome Suzie. Again, with the vocal is the strong point. When you've got a band that everyone can sing, it really is a good tool in the box, isn't it? You know, the harmonies are great. Good solid song. This Wheel's on Fire, another song written by co-wrote by Dylan and Danko. I like the start of this again. Very, very good. Folky elements. Superb little song. And the last track is called I Shall Be Released. Probably the weakest track on the album. Bit of a filler for me. It's just a little bit dull and boring and doesn't go anywhere. Very good album. Very good debut album. I love the album, and I don't mind the band at all. We will be ranking them at some stage, but this has got some really great tunes on it. It was a great start for them, but they did get better, which was even better. So they'd be around for 6 years, so some great stuff. So on this one though, I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, next week we'll have a 70s album in the classic albums. But that's all for today. I'll be back tomorrow where we've got part 2 of the Bill Wyman story, and we're going to be looking at Bill Wyman's solo albums tomorrow. And also tomorrow is part 2 of the Eurovision, and the Eurovision Song Contest is on Saturday up in Liverpool. And tomorrow we're going to look at those nil point songs, and I'm also going to sort of compare them. Were they worthy of a nil point, and were they better than the actual winner? So that's all coming up tomorrow. And a bit of heads up news. Now, the week commencing, I think it's the 22nd, I'm going to swap a few things around, because for a start, the live stream of that week will not be on the Thursday, it'll be on a Wednesday, and Thursday's programs will be on Wednesday, and Wednesday's program, which is the marathon, will be on Thursday, because that evening of the Thursday I'm off to see a great tribute band called T-Rextasy. So I thought I didn't want to stop the live stream, so I thought I'd swap it around, but I will put up an ad to remind you, and it'll be in the community and all that sort of thing, so I will remind you then. But I thought I'd give you a quick heads up that week we're going to swap one of the Wednesday to Thursday, so you don't miss out on live stream and we don't miss out on Battle of the Debuts, because it's an important thing where we put the debut in the community and the poll on the live stream. So that's all for today, and if you're in the UK, enjoy your extra day off, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.